All right, since we're all here, we're gonna go ahead and call to order the meeting of the governing body of the zoning board of adjustment here at 6 p.m. this Wednesday, May 18th. At this time, do we have any remarks from visitors?
No, sir. I believe everyone here is for the agenda item.
Okay. In that case, we'll move on to item number 3, discussion, consideration, and possible action on electing the chairman and vice chairman for the zoning board of adjustment. As it was Amy's wish, I'm going to go ahead and move that I be elected chairman.
Do you need a second?
Yes.
I second that.
Okay. Entertain a motion.
What's the motion?
Oh, a vote. Sorry, a vote.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. None opposed. Okay. And then we also need a motion and a vote for vice chairman. Mrs. Perry didn't say that she didn't want to continue to serve, so I'm assuming she wants to continue unless y'all want to vote otherwise.
Would anyone else like to serve as vice chair? Not really? Okay. Well, then I will move that Ms. Perry continue as the vice chair.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is that Nancy Perry?
Taylor Perry. Okay. Thank y'all.
Okay, with item 3 complete, we're going to move to item 4, conduct a public hearing for the purpose of receiving public comment and testimony regarding variance application submitted by Carol Newman on the property located at 609 Brosig Street, Navasota, Grimes County, Texas. The variance application requests a variance from the 5 feet setback requirements for the construction of a carport 2 feet 8 inches from the side property line, a 2 foot 4 inch encroachment. The property is legally described as Felder Block 66, Lot 5-R.
Open the public hearing at 6:02. So zoning board of adjustments, good evening. As you read, Mr. Fleming, the applicant Carolyn Newman submitted a variance application to construct a carport. The zoning requirements state that accessory buildings that are detached from the primary structure have to be 5 feet from side or rear property lines. The proposed carport, or what the applicant requested, would sit right at 2 feet 8 inches. There was an existing carport there that was in the same exact location. However, since that existing carport was completely removed and planned to be reconstructed, then all the current requirements would apply. For full disclosure, shortly after Ms. Newman applied for the variance, she let staff know that, due to scheduling and contracting with the person that was going to do the carport, they went ahead and built the structure. I don't know if any of you got a chance to drive by, but the structure is there. She provided some photos as well as verification of the distance, and it is 2 feet 8 inches away from this fence here. And so really, what the request is to encroach 2 feet 4 inches into that 5 foot side setback rule. Ms. Newman is here tonight if y'all have any questions, thoughts, or comments.
Reading through the report, I noticed that it was originally zoned for business. Is that correct?
Yes, so the property currently is zoned as B1.
Okay.
However, when you have a residence within B1, then R1A standards apply.
Right.
So it's kind of a underlying rule for anything.
So my real question here is, has it always been zoned as B1? Did that change at any point? Do we know?
Yeah, go ahead.
As I understand, Ms. Newman, you've been living on this property for over 20 years? You're Ms. Newman, sorry.
Yes, sir, I've lived there.
24 years, okay.
So the existing corp.
Mm-hmm.
So now I do have a.
Ms. Newman, can you please go to the podium?
Oh, sure.
state your name and address.
Okay. Carolyn Newman, reside at 609 Brosick in Navasota. So yes, the existing carport was there for probably 23 years. And so I have more than one vehicle now. So we tore down the old carport, and it was just 4 posts with 10 on the top, not really attractive. But anyway, so we tore that down, and then this is what we replaced it with. So it's not attached to the house, it's just up against the house.
Okay, and then circling back to the zoning, so it was basically just always zoned for B1, but used as residential?
Yeah, I think historically, probably at some point it was residential.
Okay.
When the city went through comprehensive planning, future land use planning a few years ago, I think it was like in 2010, 2013, most of the city was rezoned into different categories.
Right.
And so at that point is where it became B1.
Okay.
So the use itself of a residence, it's allowed in B1, so it's not a non-conforming use or anything like that. So
I was just curious about the intent of the city,
Yeah.
and where everyone else sat, so.
Yeah.
All right, answers my questions there.
Okay, I've got a question. Could you explain what were the circumstances that led up, again, to it being built before the public hearing?
Yes, ma'am. We had gotten 3 bids on the project, and they were quite high, most of them. Well, 2 of them were. Anyway, so the lowest bid, which we received probably around the 2nd week of April, he just stated, that material goes up, every day, and this is his side business, and this was kind of a scheduling thing as well for him. So, I really didn't feel like I had any choice, because it was a monetary issue, obviously, which a lot of things are these days. But I was aware of the 5 feet once I spoke to Loopy, and we talked about it, and I was like, well, my other one wasn't 5 feet. I wasn't aware of the 5 feet. I'm good on all the other sides, but even the old one was closer than 5 feet. So I was not aware that it had to be 5 feet from the property until I spoke with Loopy, and then at that time we had already scheduled the contractor and paid the partial payment for the carport.
I think Lupe said that had you waited, that it was going to be a considerable increase.
Yes, it would have gone up probably, I would say, another $800 to $1,000 with the materials and stuff, going up as they are. And then once again, it was not so much our schedule, but the contractor's schedule, because he has another company, and this is his side job. So
Okay.
more so just the money. We built it in line with the other one. Like I said, the other one was there for about 23 years. I wasn't aware of any zoning issues at that time, nor really was I at this time. So I've been a couple of people who've received the letters. I've spoke to them. They didn't have any concerns with it and didn't know why it would concern them other than that's the rules. So yes, I broke the rules, but it wasn't intentional. And I've always tried to keep my property clean. I try to improve it, for the neighborhood. So.
On that note, have we ever received any word from neighbors or anything? No complaints, nothing?
Yeah, it's probably similar to some of the conversations she had. I received one call out of all the letters we sent, and it was just really more informative. They were asking, am I going to have to build a carport on my property? I said, no, this is just notifying you that Ms. Newman is asking for a variance. So.
Right.
Okay.
So yeah, I spoke to 3 neighbors, and they just didn't know what they needed to do after receiving the letter, and I explained to them that tonight was the meeting, the time and the place. If they had any concerns, if they had any issues with the carport, if it affected them in any way, that they could come down and express their concerns tonight. So the 3 people that I spoke with did not have any issues with it. So.
The person that did the work, is he, You said this is a second job for him?
Yes, mhm.
Is he from Navasota?
He's from Huntsville.
Okay.
Hmm.
So he's not necessarily familiar with the ordinances and all
Not
that?
necessarily, no ma'am. He wouldn't be, no.
I have a comment or a question, I guess, more than anything else to clarify why she was at 2.8 feet before, and then she built the new carport and attached it, what appears to be, to the home, and that's what triggers this. Is that correct?
Well,
Yeah.
it's not attached.
Yeah.
It's not attached. It's just right up against the mobile home. So
Yeah, so it's
not-
our understanding that the structure is not attached to the home. What triggered this process is that the existing carport, the one that's been there for over 20 years, was non-conforming or grandfathered. More people probably refer to it as grandfathered.
Yeah.
If she would have kept that carport and let's just say replaced the tin, then we would have just gone through the permitting office like normal. But because the existing carport was completely taken out, meaning that the site was completely cleared, when you do that, then all of the new standards apply. And so now with the new standards, I'm not sure what the rules were 23 years ago when the other one was built.
I'm sure I wasn't either.
Yeah. Yes, I am. But the new one would have to meet all the new rules, and so that's what triggered the application. And I will say, even though it was built before the meeting, Ms. Newman was very cooperative with us and working through the process. Not many people come and even ask for the rules and permits. Most people just build them. So.
And I had also built a fence around the back of my property.
Correct, and we worked with you on that as well.
And I called and asked, did I need a permit for that? Because I didn't know the rules on that, and I didn't. So it's just, like I said, I try to improve my property, and I definitely think that this carport is an improvement to my property, whether it's 2.8, 2 feet 8 inches or 5 feet, opposed to the one that was there prior. I didn't take any pictures, I don't think, of the one that was there prior. I'm sure I have them
Yeah, I
somewhere,
think
but-
there's one in our packet.
Yeah, there's
that's
one.
the
I
old
found it
one,
on
yeah.
Oh, you
the
did?
old Street View.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, like I said, it was just kind of an impromptu carport with just basic tin on the top, so probably less than $100.
Yeah, I rode by this
At
one.
that
It
time.
was nice. This one's nice.
It's
It
very
is.
nice. Yes, it's very nice, and we've had a lot of compliments on it. Everybody that's seen it, it's like, oh my God, it's so nice. So we also, I don't know if this is against the rule, but we're not doing it. We had asked about concrete. We wanted to put concrete underneath. The concrete costs more than the carport.
Yeah.
So we're out on that, but whatever. That's just the cost of everything going up. So once again, it was just a monetary issue. So we just had some basic rock brought in, and I think I had taken a picture of that showed the rock under the carport spread.
Any other questions or comments?
I guess the only comment, well, I don't know what I'd done if I were in your situation, probably the same thing, especially dealing with an increase or something like that. I guess the thing that bothers me, and maybe it goes back to the fact that the contractor is not from Navasota,
Right.
but that, he kind of put you in the position of being out of sync with the ordinance or whatever, or the process, I guess.
Well, and I mean, that's
Yeah.
I don't think that's any fault of his. That would be fault on mine because, I agreed to let him start the project, based on his bid. He was $2,000 less
Yeah,
than anybody. $2,000 is a lot of money.
it is.
And,
I agree.
nowadays it's a whole lot of money. So the other two bids that I got were individuals from Navasota. And so we were recommended this gentleman from someone else and turned out to do an awesome job for $2,000 less. So, yes, ma'am.
Any other
I don't have
thoughts?
anything.
Okay. Close the public hearing at 6:14.
Okay, item number 5, consideration and possible action on order number 2-2022, approving a variance application submitted by Carol Newman for the property located at 609 Brosig Street, Navasota in Grimes County, Texas. Again, the variance application requests a variance from the 5 feet side setback requirements for the construction of a carport 2 feet 8 inches from the side property line, a 2 feet 4 inch encroachment. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve?
I make the motion to approve.
I will second that.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
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 That was all in favor, correct?
All in favor, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you, Ms. Newman.
Okay, thank y'all so much.
It looks nice, Carol. It looks nice.
Yeah, it does look really good. He did good work.
Yeah, like I said, he did a good job.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
All right, item number 6 for the evening, consideration and possible action on the approval of the March 23rd, 2022 meeting minutes as presented. I'm going to move that we approve the meeting minutes.
I'll second.
So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
And if that covers everything, we will adjourn the meeting here at 6:16 p.m.